Hello, my friends. How are you? If you are new here, I highly recommend you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell down to not miss a single one of our new lesson. And give to us some support by hitting like button. There is no doubt. Our lessons will help you to improve your English fluency. And good luck learning English. Lesson 15. Rules of Grammar and Standard English. Jan, there is one thing that rather puzzles me. You have given us from time to time a rule of grammar, or sometimes we are told, that is not good grammar. Who makes the rules of grammar? Who decides whether a sentence is right or wrong? Mr. Priestley, no one. Jan, but isn't there an academy that does it? Mr. Priestley, not in England. Lucille, hasn't Oxford University or Cambridge anything to do with it? Mr. Priestley, no. You see, the grammar of a language is not a list of rules forced on the people who speak it, it is just a record made by careful observation of how the people speak the language. Pedro, but you have rules and laws of grammar to say this is right and this is wrong. Surely the language must obey these rules? Mr. Priestley, you have rules and laws of nature, but these are not rules for nature that nature has to obey, they are just a few things that wise men have observed as to the way nature acts. If we find that nature is not acting according to these rules, we don't try to force nature to obey them, we change the rules and make new ones. Lucille, and is it the same with grammar? Mr. Priestley, exactly. Language is a living thing, always changing, old words die, new words come in, some constructions gradually fall out of use, others push their way in. The English of today is not quite the same as the English of the 18th century, the English of King Alfred could not be understood at all by Englishmen of today. What was good grammar for Shakespeare could be bad grammar for Shaw. Pedro, to come back to this question of what is grammatically right and what is grammatically wrong, how do you decide? Mr. Priestley, whatever form is used by the majority of educated speakers or writers is correct, or, as Sweet puts it, whatever is in general use in a language is, for that reason, grammatically correct. That is all. Frida, is what you have said about grammar true also about pronunciation? Mr. Priestley, yes. Pronunciation has changed, and is changing constantly. Jan, it must be more difficult to decide what is right and what is wrong in pronunciation than it is in grammar, for in different parts of England there are different pronunciations. Olaf, yes, I noticed that. In Scotland the pronunciation is quite different from the London one. Frida, I noticed that, too, in Devon. Hob, my uncle Albert speaks with a Lancashire accent. It seems to me that almost every part of England has a different pronunciation. Mr. Priestley, yes, you are not far wrong. And if you are considering different kinds of English, you might have included the English spoken in Wales, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. Lucille, well, where is the best English spoken? That is, naturally, the one we want to learn to speak and write. Mr. Priestley, I think I am asked that question by every class that I teach. From the point of view of the student of language, there is no form that is better than any other. The best Devonshire English is spoken in Devon, the purest Scottish English in Scotland, the most correct London English in London, and the best American English in the United States. Pedro, I see. But which type of English must we learn? Mr. Priestley, that's rather another matter. The most convenient form, and the one I am teaching you, is that used by the great majority of educated speakers in South and Southeast England, especially in London and its neighbourhood. It is used, too, in most of the universities and public schools in England. It is easily understood in all parts of the English-speaking world. It is, at the present time, more widely spoken than any other form and, owing to the spread of education and the influence of the BBC, whose announcers use this form, it is getting more widespread every day. For that reason and from that point of view you can, if you like, call it standard English. Hop, well, if it's good enough for the BBC, it's good enough for me. Jan, could you tell us more, sometime, about standard English? There's a lot more I want to know. Frida, so do I. Not only about standard English but about the English language generally. Lucille, such as? Jan, well, such things as, why doesn't everyone in England speak standard English? Olaf, and, is standard English the same as the King's, or Queen's, English? Jan, yes, and why does standard English seem to belong to the south of England rather than the north? Pedro, and, do all speakers of standard English speak the same? I mention this because I think I have heard differences between your pronunciation, Mr. Priestley, and your son John's. Mr. Priestley, you have certainly given me some questions to answer, and I shall be very pleased to deal with them all at some later date. Exercises. Exercise 1. Use the following words and phrases in sentences. Puzzle. Educated. Influence. Weather. Constantly. BBC. Obey. Naturally. At the present time. According to. Majority. Widespread. Gradually. Public schools. Convenient. Exercise 2. Make verbs from the following nouns. The words needed are all in this lesson. Use each of these nouns and each of the verbs that you make from them in a sentence. Obedience. Pronunciation. Influence. Decision. Speech. Student. Trial. Explanation. Thought. Death. Record. Difference. Make adjectives from numbers 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12, and adverbs from numbers 1, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 12. Use each adjective and adverb in a sentence. Exercise 3. Express the following words and phrases in one word. You are given the first letter and number of letters in the word. All the words come from this lesson. 1. To become different, not to stay the same. C. 2. The opposite of live. D. 3. The opposite of easy. D. 4. 100 years. C. 5. A law. R. 6. Right, not wrong. C. 7. To be ruled by, to do as you are told. O. 8. Unlike, not the same. D. 9. Sort, noun. T. 10. Instruction. E. 11. Found in a great many places. W. 12. Nearly. A. Exercise 4. Answer these questions. 1. Who made the rules of grammar? 2. What is standard English? 3. Why does Mr. Priestley teach it? 4. What does he mean when he says language is a living thing? 5. What is an accent? 6. Why is standard English becoming more widely spoken? 7. What did Mr. Priestley reply when asked where the best English was spoken? 8. Mention 5 countries not in the British Isles where English is spoken. 9. When was King Alfred born? 10. What 2 writers of plays are mentioned in this lesson? Composition exercise. What do you think of the BBC? Write about some of the programs you have heard and compare them with the radio programs of your own country. Dear friends, thank you for watching our channel and learning English with us. Subscribe. And we wish you great luck in achieving your goals.